So when speaking of rogue AP detection, security and access is just essential, right? Anytime we're providing additional methods for users to access the network, we need to make sure that we're keeping ourselves protected and secured. So network access control, it's been a popular subject for years, both on the wired and now especially on the wired front. There are a bunch of different ways to provide automated network access control methodologies, for example, Cisco ICE or in Aruba ClearPass, where you can provide a methodology and a policy inside the wireless controller. So when a user jumps on, if it says, well, I know that this is Dan Allen, I know that this is a corporate issued laptop, he's allowed to be on this network, and automatically drop him into the production network with server access. Maybe we can have another policy that says, well, I know this is Dan Allen, but this is something else. This looks like an Apple device. I don't allow Apple devices. We'll go ahead and just give him internet access. Obviously, he's here, he's working, his phone just needs to connect to the internet. We can even go as far as saying, well, I don't know who this person is, I don't know anything about them. Drop them into a guest portal for just internet access, but require them to provide some of their own information so that they feel, marginally responsible for some of the things they might do utilizing our internet access that we're providing for them. There's a lot of great things you can do there that are totally customizable and can be fully integrated with both wired, wireless, and remote access. That's an important one. You can have users who are VPNing in with the exact same metrics. They VPN in from a device that's not theirs. Well, they probably can't have internet access or server access. But if they VPN in with the device that they were provided, they're absolutely enabled and they're allowed to get to all the resources that they might need. So, how do we start? How do we plan? Let's say you want to jump into a wireless project and you don't even know how many APs you need or what you're doing, or you're trying to figure out a budgetary sort of idea of what you're going to be up against. Site surveys. There are a couple different types of site surveys, and I'll jump into them now. There's predictive wireless site surveys, and these are using blueprints and predictive analysis to draw the maps and draw the walls and establish where access points might need to be, to automate how many access points you might need, what kind of coverage you'll have, establish what the transmit power will be, and give you an idea of, if you wanted to increase that, what that would look like, decrease it, what that would look like, your 5 gigahertz and your 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. So if you have specific devices that want to connect in a specific way, we'll be able to determine approximately what sort of wireless coverage we're going to be. That's called a heat map, right? That's going to give us, big, beautiful, blossoming colors on a blueprint. It's kind of hard to read first time, but it definitely gives you a pretty clear indication of how things are going to connect. We can also do an active and on-site survey, and that's where we come onto the environment and we use a spectrum analysis tool to determine a few things. And what we're trying to get here is a SNR, signal to noise ratio. And we're going to use that spectrum analysis tool to measure the noise, right? Once we get the noise of the floor, which is generally, let's say background things like fluorescent lights, electrical rooms, MRI machines, microwaves, Bluetooth headsets. If you've got a bunch of those Plantronics, headsets with the receptionist, that kind of stuff, it lives in the 2.4 and sometimes 5, and the microwave just blows up all the spectrums. And it causes a bunch of noise. We'll be able to detect that. And then, utilizing a predictive analysis, we'll be able to establish the noise, the signal ratio as well. How much signal we'll be able to provide with our access points to our users. So we take the signal and the noise, we come up with the ratio, and we should be able to fairly accurately, and I say fairly to a very high degree, come up with exactly what topology, where the APs need to be, what the transmit power needs to be, what kind of channel planning we need to be considering to ensure good connectivity and a totally successful wireless project before we even order an access point. So that's fairly important, right? I've seen a lot of wireless projects where we say, well, 1, 2, and that's it. And then we come back and we say, oh yeah, it doesn't go around the corner, and if you move it, you're going to have the problem, same thing over there. This is a really critical step that a lot of people, aren't really sure how to approach, and we've done it just 100 times, and so we're really good at it. So other kinds of projects that we've done, and the kinds of things we like to talk about. Road mapping wireless. Wireless is constantly changing. There's a lot of things you can do with it, right? So it's important to have a conversation to say, hey, tell us what you're trying to do. Give us your business drivers. Give us where you think you'll be, what your scale is, and what you want to do. And we can come back and say, great, we have an idea for this. This is how we think you should approach it. Maybe a phased implementation, maybe a full onset implementation with some road mapping ideas of features and capabilities down the road. Maybe we can talk speeds, or maybe we can talk density, or just about anything. Again, the commoditizing or the providing a commodity of wireless guest access, and if that's really easy or if that's something you're going to have to deal with. Controller upgrades. If you have a controller, you need to migrate to a new one or just do an upgrade on the firmware. We've done that just so many times. Absolutely a very normal and regular professional services project. AP upgrades. The site survey, both active on-site and the passive with blueprints and the predictive analysis to get those heat maps. The compliance. A lot of environments like banks, hospitals have a requirement to have compliance on their wireless access and to show, for example, that you're getting wireless intrusion prevention scans in your environment. That's required for compliance. We can come in, provide the solution, document it, and provide it to you for you to give to your auditors to say, nope, we're certainly secure in this place. And then troubleshooting just about anything. Connectivity, dead spots. Oftentimes this is the typical, when people walk into this room, they complain. I didn't think it was that bad, and then I went and talked to them, and all of a sudden, there's a bunch of issues, and everyone's been having issues for weeks. So the little niggling issues that we can get in there and try and figure out, using a lot of the same technologies that we use to plan a wireless deployment from scratch, we use to do that troubleshooting and get true data rate capability from every single location. So regardless of whatever your wireless project is, if you're just thinking about preparing next year, talking budget, talking brands, talking capabilities, engage us. Let us come and talk to you and help you figure out what we're seeing in the market, and use a lot of the things that we've already seen and helped other customers do. Make your wireless project a success. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.